PSG have dominated French football for the last 15 years. Now, this isn't just about trophies, it's about their financial dominance. Their club value alone is more than all the other Liga clubs combined. Now, this might sound great for PSG, but when one club completely crushes the competition, the league suffers. Things have gotten so bad that recently not a single broadcaster wanted to even pay for Liga's TV rights. So today, I'm stepping in to save French football. And the way we're gonna do this is by creating a true rival for PSG, a team that can go toe-to-toe with PSG in Liga, and the club I've chosen for this impossible mission, Paris FC. Most people don't even realize this, but Paris does have another club, although for the last decade, Paris FC have been struggling in lower divisions. But last season, they finally did it. Promotion to Liga, which means they're in the same division as PSG. Now, before we sign this Paris FC contract, though, there are three things we need to understand. One, this challenge is going to be absolutely brutal because we're going to have nowhere near the financial powerhouse as PSG. We'll be limited to signing players that are lower rated than our current best player. But finally, what makes this challenge extremely brutal, every season if PSG comes in for any one of our players, we gotta accept that offer. But you guys know me, I'm no one to back down from a challenge. I'm signing the contract, and let's make Paris FC the best club in France. We're starting off Season 1 by assessing this Paris FC squad, and you know what? This team isn't too bad. Experience with players like Lise Malou, Kevin Trapp as well in goal, and then you've got a bit of young talent, players like Otavio. Also, I like this French striker man, Willem Goubels, 23 years old, 72 rated, even though this Crasso guy is higher rated. My first decision is going to be to make Goubels the main man, but we've got a lot more decisions to make to elevate this team, and transfers is going to play a big part. Now, I know we're not going to have PSG-like budget. They've probably got like 250 million. And yep, virtually we have 10 times less money than them, 26.5 million. But to be fair, for a Liga club, that isn't too bad. And that's because Paris FC are owned by the Louis Vuitton Group, as well as Red Bull. Now that is a really good thing, because if and when we do end up qualifying for Champions League, you know we'll have some strong financial backers. But first, of course, we gotta get there. And of course, I do have a plan. In terms of transfers, it's gonna start with the right back spot, because over here we've got our oldest player in the team, Habib Traore, 79 rated, 33 years old. I know he's got quite a bit of Liga experience, but we need to try and get as much young blood into the team as possible. Okay, for literally a month, I've been trying to sell that geezer, but not a single offer for Traore. And here I was thinking maybe PSG might try and steal our players in the first season, but I guess that's something we're not really gonna have to worry about. Okay, wait, his name is not Habib? Bro's overall probably went down by 1 because I just didn't call his name right. Habib?
Habib.
Now, our highest rated player currently is Kevin Trapp, which is actually super convenient, because we're going to be allowed to sign players up to 81 overall, at least for now. To be honest, I don't think we can afford someone with that rating, but Zakaria El Ouadi, Moroccan right back, I see potential, especially considering Morocco have produced the likes of Hakimi, Mazraoui. And don't forget, Morocco is kind of a dark horse for the upcoming World Cup. That's the talent they have. Of course, man, when I made up my mind to sign a particular player, this team will not sell this player as he's too important for the club. I hate my life. I do want to try and look for players outside the top 5 leagues, because I feel we could get some fantastic deals there. And this looks good, boys. Ivan Fresneda, his overall is definitely low, but the kid's 20 and I see potential. Now, could we fool them by putting Hamari Traore in the swap deal? Nope, nobody wants him by the looks of it. Well, at least we've got our right back for 9.9 million. Man, just one signing has drained our budget down to 17 mil. This is what's going to be the challenge here at Paris FC. I think this money will only be enough for one more signing. And that's because we're going to have to spend a bit to sort out our youth academy. I feel like if we want to compete with PSG, we need to also develop an academy that produces fantastic players out of Paris. And we're not going to do that with a 2-star, 3-star scout. Straight away firing him. But there's only a 3-star experienced scout. At least he's got the judgment. I guess we'll sign him, boys. We have to. And I think I only want to be sending this scout to France. And we're going to try and look for the next big French attacker. That's all I want out of the youth academy. Let's be laser focused. The next Dembele. The next Kylian Mbappe. The academy costs, though, have put us further down to 14 million. And we're going to have to incur more costs as we set up our scouting staff. And now the budget's gone down even more at 10.7 mil. Now, I do have an offer here for a couple of million for Adama Kamara, 28-year-old midfielder. Okay, the extra couple of million has just come in for Kamara. We're up to 13.7. With that, I feel like the play has got to be to sign another midfielder. Now, I want to continue the theme of signing players outside of the top 5 leagues, and look who I found. Christos Mouzakidis, Olympiakos midfielder. Potential is absolutely ridiculous. The kid's 18, and I've just got a signature for 7.7 mil. Now, I'll be honest, we haven't really done a French revolution here. The team is still very much the same. Just a couple of young players added in, but that's all what we could do though with the budget we had. I was even struggling to sell players that we didn't need. But hey, this is a long-term project. It's gonna take a long time before we can even get on the level of PSG. For this first season, my goal is to avoid relegation down to League 2 and see some lot of growth, especially in Mouzakidis, Fresneda, Otavio as well. Maybe even this Goebbels guy who I'm putting a lot of faith in. Okay guys, we've made it to January right before we face PSG for the first time this season. But yeah guys, things are going better than I expected. 4th in Liga, and here I was thinking we'd be in a relegation battle. Honestly, that speaks volumes about this league considering the quality we have is still pretty darn average, yet we're in the top 4. But look at my man Willem Goebbels up top. Bro has been cooking this season, 8 goals in 16 games. Also, don't sleep on this left back, Noah Sangi. I've been playing this kid quite a bit and he's impressive, bro. Up to a 70 overall as well. In just our first season with Paris FC, could we make a statement and get a win in the derby? Nope. We get absolutely cooked by Ousmane Dembele. I'm pretty sure PSG aren't taking the Paris derby seriously at all. But trust me, boys, in a few seasons, they will. For that, though, we need our academy to work, and this is turning out to being a total flop. I don't see any potential talents in here. This is the problem of having a 3-star experienced scout. Now, I actually did end up cleaning up the club, selling quite a few players that we didn't need, and that's got our budget up to 14.4 million. Now, rather than put that money in another signing, I am gonna fire the scout we have, and I'm gonna spend 4 million on hiring another scout. This time though, 5-star, and that's purely because I believe finding the next Mbappe, that could be the way for us to get on the same level as PSG. And looks like, boys, having a 5-star scout did pay off. A couple of absolute ballers. Alexis Hamel, 85 to 94 potential, but there's also Ryan Etienne. In fact, this kid reminds me a bit of Kylian Mbappe. Now, normally I would promote both of them and maybe loan them out and develop them that way, but I want to do something different here at Paris FC. You look at clubs like Monaco. When Kylian Mbappe broke through, they straight away got him into the first team, and look what happened. And that's kind of what I want to do with one of these academy graduates. Straight away make them a starter, make them get as much first team action as possible. And to be honest, between these two, Ryan Etienne looks a lot more ready for first team action. Bro, Alexis Hamel is literally tiny. He's 5'1". Bro is just gonna get bullied in Liga. So yeah, making a tough call, because even though he's got higher potential, I think I'm gonna be choosing Etienne. Now, like Mbappe, I do think Ryan Etienne would ball out in the left wing position, but as soon as I converted him to a left winger, his overall went down to 60. But you know what? I still want to trust this kid and develop him. And so for next season, we will be making him the main man down the left. But talking about this season though, 5th I think is pretty darn good. I mean, if our goal difference was a bit better, we could have secured 4th and gotten into Champions League qualies. I'm not gonna lie, boys. I feel like Europa League is the perfect position for us to be in. The budget might be getting bumped up as well. And also, we saw quite a bit of growth this season. My man Goebbels up top, he's been super impressive. 17 goals in Liga this season. Mouzakidis as well had decent growth. Same with Fresneda and Otavio. And I knew it, boys. Europa League means that our budget for the season, 57.5 million. Now we're starting to get into territory where we could take the fight to PSG. But hold up, boys. We're not going to be able to sign any high-rated players, because I've just realized that Kevin Trapp has dropped down to a 79 overall, which means that is our limit in terms of signings. Also, another thing we got to worry about is PSG. Since Fresneda, Mouzakidis, Otavio all had decent seasons, they could be lurking in the shadows trying to steal them. But okay, right now we can't worry about that. The focus is improving the team, and I think the next step is to get a really good CDM to succeed Les Milou. And also we should look to get a new goalkeeper as well, because Kevin Trapp is 35 and we need players who can keep growing, so that'll allow us to sign better players. Now Guillaume Restes would have been an unbelievable option, but he's 80 overall. We're not allowed to sign him. Now we could go for young Mike Penders. If I'm not wrong, he was on loan at Strasbourg last season, got that Liga experience. Also, bro is 6'7", what a demon. And since we've got so much money, I don't mind signing him at all. And wait, is that Hansi Flick? Yo, Chelsea have secured the signing of Hansi Flick, and what is going on with my hair? Am I wearing like a wig or something? Anyways, what's important is that we've got a new #1 goalkeeper, Mike Penders. Now, for the CDM position, we could pull off an incredible heist by signing Ayub Buati, one of Lille's most talented players, 77 rated, which means we're allowed to sign him. But the important thing is the kid's 18. And the fact that we were able to sign him for just 20 million. Okay, this is incredible timing, because as soon as we've signed Buati, we get an offer for Lees Malou, 10.6 mil, and I'd be stupid not to accept. Now, I did expect to have more money, but I think we can also afford an upgrade in the centre-back department. Now, we'd be cutting it really close because Pichiabu is expensive, but if we can pull off this signing, it could be a centre-back for the next 6-7 years. And oh wow, they've agreed at 25 million. I am actually in disbelief that we pulled this off. I genuinely believe we've had a 10-on-10 transfer window. Just a few things we got to worry about is at the end, it's going to really hurt us in the early days starting a 61 rated winger, but we just got to wait until it pays off. Now, I think for expectations, since we are playing in the Europa League, I would love to at least get to the quarters. Liga though, I want top 4. I think we have the quality. But let's get to the end of the season to see what happens. And while we're simulating, if you guys can subscribe to the channel, that would be amazing too. Loss of confidence. Boss, this is my first official match for Paris FC and I'm really nervous about my performance. What should I do?
Oh, grow some balls, Grandad.
I don't want to delay his debut. I truly believe that he is our guy. He's going to be our Mbappe. I've got to encourage him and see what happens. I'm making a big call here by throwing Etienne into the deep end. Although I don't think that was the right choice because his passing, his dribbling, everything felt off. You could see the nerves. Bro ended up getting a SofaScore rating of just 6.2. I really don't know if we made the right call. And what should we do now? Should we continue trusting Etienne? Or do we just start Moses Simon and call it a day? I think I'm gonna keep trusting Etienne and know he will come good. Bro, Ryan Etienne has got himself a knee injury, out for the next 8 weeks, and I think we messed up. We've given him 7 starts so far. He's actually scored a goal, but I guess that was too much football for a 17-year-old. And I guess having him on the field has also been costing us because now we're closer to the relegation zone. Bro, we literally finished 5th last season. End of the season, and we do make a bit of a comeback, finishing 10th. But this was a proper reality check, man. I guess we made too many changes this season. And of course, PSG with a landslide have won the league. What was I thinking though, throwing Ryan Etienne into the deep end? The poor kid just struggled. I'm still not giving up on him though. We'll figure out a solution. But at least around him, though, there was a lot of growth. Look at Otavio up to an 81, Fresneda 79, Musa Kitis had a big season. Or the big one is Mike Penders in goal becoming 82 rated. And that's perfect, because that now uplifts the max overall of transfers we can make. By the way, our season's not over. We were in the Europa League this season, made it out of the league phase, and we managed to get through the playoffs, but ran a 16 on penalties. My goal was to make it to the quarters. We failed that. My goal was to get top 4 in Liga. We failed that as well. But I still feel we've got a great foundation. If we can improve the team with better signings now that the overall limit has been lifted, plus if we figure out how to get the most of Ryan Etienne because the potential is there, I'm sure we'll be able to work back at least in the top 4. Wait a minute, boys. I just got into season 3 and look at this unexpected event. For the upcoming season, there is no transfer budget. The club needs to stabilize their financial situation. However, you can create your own budget by selling players. What on earth is this?
You're broke!
Compare this to like PSG, who've already got Ousmane Dembele and they can probably spend another 100-200 million. Bro, literally my budget has been wiped out. This is the first time I'm seeing that unexpected event and it has destroyed my world. The fact that we can't even make improvements to the team without selling players, it's kind of crazy. Especially considering we're trying to decide what to do with Etienne. Do we continue trusting him? Now hang on a minute. I kept Alexis Hamel in our youth academy. I completely forgot to like terminate his contract and we may have lucked out because of it. The kid has now grown to a 65 overall, more than Etienne. His potential is even crazier. And he's also grown in height. He's no longer tiny anymore. 5'5" isn't too bad. Bro, I'm thinking we promote him to the senior team. And with him occupying a spot, maybe we'll be able to sell some players and improve the team that way. Bro, in these kind of financial situations, this is all we can do. I'm thinking if we put Hamel into the starting 11, Cabal could be offloaded. His contract was expiring, so I tried to negotiate with him, but I forgot that we barely have any money. So my choice, regardless, is to keep Cabal for another 12 months and let him leave for free, or just sell him now and get some cash, and obviously that's what I'm gonna choose. Also, we've got this Marchetti guy who submitted a transfer request. We'll get a bit of cash for him, but yeah, not really too much, just 1.5 million. But this is the big one, boys. One of our highest rated players, Cabal, being sold. In these tough financial situations, getting the 20 million for him, I think, is the best play. Okay, at least we've got our budget budget back up to 25 million. But I think I found a way to get even more money. Our backup goalkeeper, Encampadio, is actually decent at a 77 overall. For a club like ours, we don't need this good of a backup keeper. I can take the 19 million from Ajax, or Sporting actually, and that's exactly what I've done. And now we can just go into the free agent market and just sign any backup goalkeeper that's reasonably decent. Yo, we've got Drake Callender, who's a free agent. If you guys remember, he was Messi's teammate at Inter Miami. Honestly, he's 69 rated.
Nice.
That overall for me is decent for a backup goalie. We're going to sign him up. Not gonna lie, boys. We've played this difficult situation really well. The budget is up to 44 million. And now there's a couple of things we can do with this. Either go ahead and sign a winger, which does make sense because both Hamel and Etienne are super inexperienced. But I kind of want to trust them, bro, because if they can succeed, the value they can bring to this club will be astronomical. Instead, I'm thinking let's go all in on a midfielder who can create chances for the attack. Now, we are allowed to sign 82 rated players, and I found Lucas Usic, 24 years old, but the best part is his contract is expiring. And right now, with the financial situation this club is in, we need to be getting deals. So I'm going to be offering 33 million. And okay, we can get a deal done at 34. I think we take it, boys. I'm genuinely in disbelief that we managed to pull off a signing like Lucas Usic, because we were literally bankrupt at the start of the season. Zero budget, but some shrewd plays, selling the right players, promoting academy players, free agents and whatnot. How on earth have we managed to sort out this midfield considering our circumstances? But still, boys, I don't know what to expect from the season. We've got a couple of academy players down the wings. I need them to really perform. I don't think this season, realistically, we can aim for top 4. Let's be smart. It's a season of just surviving considering our financial circumstances. Top 6 would be huge because we need that Europa League money. Okay, Etienne, that is so much better. Up to a 69 overall. Most importantly, on the pitch, he performed really well. 9 goals. 7.36 average rating. Maybe the kid just needed one season to adapt. Alexis Hamel, though, didn't have the best of seasons on the pitch, but still went up to a 70 overall. That is the kind of growth we need from our academy players. Wasn't just them, though. That midfield. Lucas Susic, look at his growth. Up to an 86. Buardi, 84. Muzakitis up to 85. I think we've got one of the best midfields in the league now with that. And that is a relief, bro. We managed to get 6th, which seemingly is going to be Conference League, but could be Europa League. You never know. And I think that should kind of ease the financial burden of this club. And isn't that a relief? For Season 4, the money is coming back into the club. 41 million. And now our highest rated player is Lucas Susic, 86 rated. Of course, I don't think with 41 million we can sign an 86 rated player unless we try and make a player sale and figure something out. Now, if I maybe sell Willem Goebbels, we could get like 36 million for him, and then there would be big money to sign another striker. To be honest, bro, I'm looking at Willem Goebbels' potential. It could go up to 87. I think the player's got to be to trust him. Instead, it looks like Otavio has kind of maxed out his potential, getting up to 82. Oh, and that's big money coming in from Manchester United for Otavio. 100% I'm selling him. Oh, no. What has just happened? I almost missed this. But we've got an offer from PSG, the first one yet. They want Buardi. Literally the player we've grown to an 85 overall. I actually can't believe this, bro. This is not what I wanted. We haven't had PSG come in for any of our players, but the moment we see a bit of success, a bit of growth, they're coming at us like vultures, and we've got no choice but to accept. Now, I am allowed to counter to try and get a little bit more money, and we are going to get 95 million. But bro, seeing both Otavio as well as Buardi leave, that is massive. This Paris FC challenge is turning out to being ridiculously difficult, having to replace players of this caliber. Oh my days, Buardi's a club legend. He rejected the move to PSG. That means we get to keep him. That is incredible. What a comeback. I literally thought he was sold. Buardi, for what you've done today, take the flipping armband. You deserve it. And now with 83 million, we can focus on bringing in a centre-back. Oh, and you know, I love to see contract expiring in 11 months. And that's why we're able to get Kalulu for a ridiculous deal. Also, I just realized that Goebbels is our only striker. Now, even though I want to trust him and see how he can grow, I don't think we can go wrong signing someone like Mateta. I know he's 31, but he could be the ultimate super sub for us. Man, I don't think our team has been in a better position. We've got squad depth, couple of academy players who keep getting better. The only thing that can ruin the party, if PSG come in for any one of our other players. We're 1 month into the transfer window and no big offers from PSG yet. The only players I'm worried about losing are Susic, Muzakitis, probably even Penders. At least I'm sure that Buadi won't be joining PSG, so that's a relief. We've now made it to deadline day, 10 hours to go. And after Buadi's rejection, looks like PSG are not interested. No, not this way. 3 hours to go. Latest rumor, Susic to PSG. And not this way, man. Not this way. Literally on deadline day when there's barely any time left. We're gonna be in the mud and have no choice but to accept. Unless he can pull a Buadi and, of course, stay with us. 2 hours to go. I think we've survived. I've accepted the offer now. It's all in Susic's hands. Is the deal going to go through on deadline day? I don't think it is. It's still ongoing. Oh, no. This is so nerve-wracking. But there's only 1 hour left. Is this deal going to go through after the window? At least that'll give us a little bit time to prepare. But okay, the window is shut. And I have no idea whether the Susic deal has gone through or not. Oh my days, they couldn't reach an agreement. I think the deal was too late. How have we survived 2 offers from PSG? But one thing's for sure, man. They're going to keep coming for our players. The only way we can stop them from signing our players is by finishing above them in Liga. The rule goes away if we do that. And I'm curious, bro. Our next game is against PSG, the Parisian derby, and I really want to see where our team stands. Let's see if this time we can compete against PSG, and we can. A draw. This is proof of all the progress we've made. Remember, in our first season, we got cooked by PSG. Now we can hold our own. Okay, a bit of a reality check. We couldn't really compete with PSG. In fact, man, the gap is still a mile. 24 points the difference. But we have made big progress. Qualifying for the Champions League by the looks of it. Finishing 4th. And I think that's thanks to the fact that we've managed to retain our midfield. PSG tried stealing them. Somehow it didn't work. Also, the decision to trust Alexis Hamel. It's paying off. He's had 6 goals and 5 assists. His best run yet. Etienne as well with 11 goals. Also this season we had Conference League experience, reaching the quarterfinals. All in all, I feel this was a huge season for progress. I feel like the academy players finally now can hold their own. We've got a great team around them as well. But from now onwards, every season we got to work super hard to close the gap to PSG. That's going to be the big challenge. And heading into season 5, isn't this a nice message to see? The club's financials are looking better than ever. And we do have a budget of 75 million. I'm now starting to feel like we can compete with PSG. That's what qualifying for Champions League gets you. The question now is, where do we put this money? I like our centre-back partnership, our goalkeeper. I don't want to change any of that. The midfield as well is electric. Up top, Goebbels could be a player we look to replace. But he's been doing the job all right. He's up to an 84, and I think he's still got room to grow. The left-back spot is definitely our weak link right now. Also, Noah Sangi's potential isn't that crazy. At the best, he'll be able to get to an 83 overall, but even that would take a few seasons. And I don't want to mess about, boys. Someone like Destiny Udogie would be such a big upgrade. Okay, maybe I have gone a bit overboard spending 50 million to bring Udogie to Paris. But you know what? I think this is what we need to do, because we're not going to be spending big money on wingers. We're going to trust the academy for that. But at least elsewhere, we've got to just spend the money to improve the team. With the remaining money we've got, I've got a way we can maybe hurt PSG a little bit by signing Mbappe. Of course, not Kylian, but his little bro Ethan. He was part of PSG's academy. They let him go. He joined Lille. Now he's playing for Udinese in-game. And I don't think he's going to cost us that much. He'll give us solid depth in the midfield. And hey, at some point, if we want to bring Mbappe back to Paris, not PSG, but Paris FC, having his little bro at the club is definitely going to help. Now, I would love nothing more than to just take this team into Liga, compete with PSG, maybe try and win the trophy over them. But don't forget, since we finished behind them last season, any offer that comes from them, we've got to accept. Now, boys, somehow last season we survived. I really don't know how, but I don't think how we're going to do it again. Our players are too good now for PSG not to notice. And I told you this was going to happen. The first player PSG are after, Bichiabu. And unlike Buadi and Sucic, Bichiabu did accept the offer. Now, I was able to negotiate to get 50 million, but that's a massive hit our backline has taken. And the worst thing is that there could be more offers. And I genuinely can't believe this. They want to crush us by taking away our backline. An offer for Kalulu as well. Even he couldn't resist the allure of PSG. But we were able to get 74 million out of this. But now we literally don't have a backline. I cannot believe the heist PSG have just pulled. Okay, but everything's not lost. We still have 135 million to get 2 new centre-backs. Now, I looked at Konate as an option, but he was just too expensive, man. We can't afford to pay 85 million for 1 centre-back. But I'm liking Lenny Yoro as an option. 23 years old, 84 rated. For some reason, is now playing for Brentford. And so for 54 million, we're saving his career by bringing him to Paris. And now for his centre-back partner, I really like Boyomo from Osasuna, 85 rated. rejected. And after some heavy negotiations, he just about fit our transfer budget. And somehow, boys, we've replaced our backline completely. But the worry is still there. PSG could still come for one of our midfielders. But so far, things look safe because we are getting offers from clubs like Chelsea. But PSG might have had enough. We've made it to deadline day and no offers from PSG. I think after being rejected by our midfielders last season, they do not want to sign them. And the transfer window is about to shut and we're safe. But man, we can't be doing this constantly, being fearful of PSG coming in and stealing our players. We need this to end. And the only way that'll be possible is if we can somehow finish above PSG. And you know what? I think we've got the team to do it. We're just gonna need Etienne and Hamel to get better. I'm hoping this could be the season they get super close to an 80 overall, because we'll need that to compete with PSG. Guys, we're in January and there's a money injection into the club. The owners are pleased with the club's trajectory. 75 million is what we're getting to our budget. And I can see why the owners have done this, because we're top of Liga, 3 points above PSG. This could be our season to finally become a true rival of PSG, beat them to Liga. And the owners are desperate to make this happen by giving me extra money. And I'm not gonna lie, boys, I feel like this is a sign for us to get an upgrade over Etienne or Hamel. Well, not really by replacing them. I still want them to be a big part of the squad, but I do think adding another winger with more quality, that could be the difference between us either winning Liga or falling short and finishing second. Because you look at Etienne and Hamel's stats, they're not anything too crazy. They're still young, they're getting better. With these extra funds, I'm thinking, what if we sign Garnacho? He's someone who can play on the left or right. And now this wasn't initially the plan. We were gonna trust Etienne and Hamel, but the situation now requires us to go for the title. And I think it's best if we get some more firepower. 55 million and we've got Garnacho's signature. Also, boys, there was an offer from PSG for Fresneda, but we were allowed to reject it. Because as things stand, we are top of Liga. And now with Garnacho here, we've got a really good chance to establish Paris FC as PSG's biggest rivals. This team has to win the league. End of the season, and Garnacho's signing has been a complete flop. He played 14 games, scoring 0 goals. In the end, it was Ryan Etienne. Maybe we should have trusted him from the get-go. He scored 9 goals. But Hamel did even better. 19 this season. But my God, it was Lucas Susic with unbelievable stats. 35 goal contributions. Gooble's up top getting more goals. And looks like, boys, we sacrificed the Champions League so we can push in Liga, because we got knocked out in the league phase itself. But if we win Liga, it would be worth it. And we do, boys. Finally, we finished above PSG. They can finally consider us a true rival. Paris now has 2 clubs. And man, it took us 5 seasons to build this team. And the best part now is that PSG cannot steal any more of our players. And we can now push to bring the Champions League to Paris. But this time, not at PSG. The goal will be to try and equal their record, which is just 1. And I think once we pull that off, Paris FC are going to be the alpha team in Paris. And looks like PSG are salty, man, because Season 6 starts with them putting in an offer for Lucas Susic. But now we're champions of France. We don't have to accept any of their offers. You guys are not having Susic. Now we can just focus on building up this team to try and win the Champions League. And I think one thing I have learned is that Garnacho, you're kind of mid. We're going to trust Etienne and Hamel this season. I feel like if they can grow well, they'll be the ones to get us that Champions League trophy. But I'm thinking, boys, now that we're champions of France, could this be the season for us to make a statement signing? Because we've got the financial backing of the Red Bull and the Louis Vuitton group. And if I sell Willem Goebbels, who's worth about 84 million, probably could get like 110, 120 mil for him. We could then go for Kylian Mbappe. But wait a minute, this player isn't willing to move to a league that isn't competitive enough for his skills? Are you actually joking? Wait a minute, boys, it's not just him, it's any player from one of the top leagues. Like, I can't even sign Adeyemi. Not even Hugo Ekitike. I think, boys, something has happened and Liga has dropped out of being like the top 5 leagues. And because of that, we can't attract big talent. I don't know how this happened, but that means despite having 90 million, we really can't make any improvements to the team. I think I figured out what happened, boys. Since we got knocked out in the league phases last season, PSG probably didn't do well either. That has probably pushed down Liga's prestige, and we're now probably the 6th or 7th best league in the world, which means players from the big leagues don't want to join us, and the only way we can fix that is by maybe reaching the quarterfinals or go beyond and maybe the semifinals. Because yeah, otherwise we just won't be able to attract talent, and there'll be just no way to improve the team. Now, this is exactly what we needed, finishing second in the league phases, also PSG topping it. it. That's kind of good that two clubs from Liga are doing so well. Maybe next season that would then allow us to sign the big players. And by the way, we've knocked out Liverpool. That's huge. Might convince Hugo Ekitike to probably join us. Wait a minute, we've knocked out Real Madrid in the quarterfinals. Mbappe, I hope you were there. We could now genuinely complete the challenge this season itself. But Atletico Madrid knocked us out on pens. But hey, we managed to win back-to-back Liga trophies. Etienne as well as Hamel are now starting to become serious ballers. Also, growth all round in the team has just been crazy. And now if next season we're allowed to bring in the big players, Paris FC might just be going all the way. And yup, boys, there seems to be nothing stopping us from potentially signing Kylian Mbappe, Liga's prestigious backup. Now, I know he's 32, but I kind of want to make this signing as a statement. It would definitely spice up the rivalry between PSG and Paris FC, because Mbappe was their golden boy. Now, signing Mbappe is going to come at a cost. Willem Koopels, who's been our main man for 6 years, we're going to have to cash in on him. And we are getting crazy money, to be fair, 136 million. And looks like that is more than enough to sign Kylian Mbappe, 148 million. The golden boy is back in Paris. Bro's about to become the most hated PSG player of all time, but this is the signing we need to become a true rival of PSG. In a way, though, this kind of adds more pressure, because Mbappe is 32. Every season he's gonna get worse. So I guess we need to make the Champions League final as soon as possible. And I think if we see more growth from Etienne and Hamel, we will make it happen. And alright, boys, this is the perfect start we needed, topping the league phase. Easy draw in the round of 16 as we knock out Sporting. Another easy draw against Benfica. We knocked them out. This time we get through the semi-finals against PSV, and our rivals PSG got knocked out. I would have loved it to be PSG in the final. A battle for Paris. But that's just not how football works sometimes. We're gonna have to beat Man City to put Paris FC on the top of the world. Meanwhile, with Kylian Mbappe, of course, we had to win the league, and we did it invincible. We didn't lose a single game. And Mbappe won the Golden Boot. Bro, instead of creating a rival of PSG, we might have just created a club that completely surpasses them.
Until now, you have become the very thing you swore to destroy.
And man, Mbappe is a cheat code. How is he still growing at the age of 33? Hamel is well having his biggest season yet, up to an 87 overall. Etienne too grew massively up to 87. And honestly, boys, 7 seasons of grinding with this Paris FC team, and look what we've built. Just now 1 game, boys, for us to complete the challenge, take Paris FC to the top. And of course, we've got both of our academy players starting. The last time I tried using Ryan Etienne, it was a complete disaster. This time, though, he feels so much better. Look at the dribbling there from him. Oh, he's learning that from Kylian Mbappe as I try to play the ball from Mbappe in the box. It is always Kylian. This time, though, for Paris FC. The fact that Kylian Mbappe couldn't win the Champions League with PSG, but he could now win it with Paris FC, kind of makes me really happy. When I see Mbappe again, bro, he's a cheat code. He's a cheat code, and Kylian Mbappe. The ball as well from Hamel was ridiculous. Both our academy players getting assists. Man City are trying to make a comeback, and Erling Haaland. Okay, maybe the nerves are kicking in for this Paris FC team because we haven't played in a Champions League final before. I think we need 1 more goal to just settle the nerves. Maybe it could be Hamel getting the goal. Finesse shot, but puts it wide. Okay, right now, I think we just got to forget about the second goal and just control this game. Only 5 minutes to go. Somebody just get the ball off Foden as he goes for a cross. And Ryan Cherky controls that well. Udogi, we needed that challenge. And that's it, boys. Oh, my days. It was nerve-wracking towards the end. But Paris FC are European champions. It took us 7 seasons to create a true rival for PSG, but genuinely I feel like we went beyond. We won Liga 3 times in a row, dominated PSG throughout, and now we've even brought back the Champions League to Paris. And we did that by developing our own youth academy talents, as well as getting Kylian Mbappe just to annoy PSG while we enjoy the celebrations. If you guys want to watch me play career mode as an unemployed manager, click here.